Now there were other sounds outside, added to the shouting and the slap-slap of many feet. He heard big things dragging and bumping along his glowing wall. Terror held him curled into a silent lump under the covers of his bunk. The burning smells contained a steamy, bitter flavor, not quite the sticky sweet of the time when the stove scorched their wall. He remembered the charred melt of organics opening a new passage between their room and the next one along the corridor. He had poked his head through the burned opening and whistled at their neighbors. The smells now were not the same, though, and the glowing wall did not melt away. A rumbling was added to the outside sounds, like a pot boiling over on the stove, but his mother was not cooking. Besides, it was too loud for cooking, louder even than the other corridor noises. Now, there were screams nearby. Duke kicked off his covers and gasped when his bare feet touched the deck. Hot! Abruptly, the deck pitched, first backward and then forward. The motion lurched him face first through the bulkhead. The hot organics of the wall stretched and parted for him like a cooked noodle. He knew he was on the outer deck, but stumbling feet kept him too busy covering his head and body with his arms. He could not spare a hand to open his good eye. The hot deck burned his knees and elbows. Duke caught his breath in the sudden onslaught of pain and wrenched out another shrill whistle. Somebody stumbled against him. Hands reached under his armpits and lifted him clear of the scorched bubbly that had been the deck. Some of it came loose with him and stuck to his bare skin. Duke knew who held him by the jasmine smell of her hair. Ellie, the neighbor woman with the short, stubby legs and beautiful voice. "Duke," she said, "let's go find your ma." He heard something wrong in her voice. It rasped low in a dry throat and cracked when she spoke. "Ma," he said. He knuckled his eye open and saw a nightmare of movement and firelight. Ellie shouldered them through the crowd, saw that he was looking around and slapped his hand away. "Look later," she said. "Right now you hang on to my neck. Hold tight." After that one brief glimpse, there was no need to repeat the order. He clutched both arms around Ellie's neck. A small whimper escaped his throat. Ellie continued to push them through a crowd of people, voices all around saying words Duke did not understand. Movement against the others peeled away chunks of bubbly from his skin. It hurt. That one look at Out remained indelibly in Duke's memory. Fire had been coming out of the dark water. It coiled up out of the water accompanied by that thick, boiling sound, and the air was so full of steam that people were shadow clumps against the hot red glow of flames. Screams and shouts still sounded all around, causing Duke to hold even tighter to Ellie's neck. Chunks of the fire had rocketed into the sky high above their island. Duke did not understand this, but he heard the fire crash and sizzle through the body of the island into the sea beneath. Why water burn? He knew the whistle words, but Ellie would not understand. The raft tipped sharply under Ellie and sent her sprawling beneath the trampling feet, with Duke atop her shielded from the burning deck. Ellie cursed and gasped. More people fell around them. Duke felt Ellie sinking into the melting organics of the deck. She struggled at first, thrashing like a fresh-caught murie that his mother had put into his hands once before she cooked it. Ellie's twisting slowed and she began moaning low in her throat. Duke, still clutching Ellie's neck, felt hot bubbly against his hands and jerked them away. Ellie screamed. Duke tried to push himself away from her, but the press of bodies all around prevented his escape. He felt the hair at the nape of his neck standing up. A questing whistle broke from his nose, but there was no response. The deck tilted again and bodies rolled onto Duke. He felt hot flesh, some of it warm wet. Ellie gasped once, very deep. The air changed. The people screaming, "Oh no,